Good morning and welcome to the show and Happy New Year. I'm here with Greg Anderson from Barry's Battery Warehouse to learn more about batteries. Welcome to the show, Greg.
Well, thank you. Glad to be here.
I know just before we started rolling, we had a conversation on batteries, and there's a lot to know. Who knew? I know every little toy you get on Christmas needs batteries. Some of the ornaments that you need batteries, but there's a lot of other things in our lives that require batteries that you may not really think about or recognize.
You have batteries from the doorbell to your uninterrupted power supply, the mobility chair, the tool packs, the key fobs. Everything has a battery.
Smoke alarms.
A great example, and they need to be changed out once a year.
Yeah. And
you know, people forget.
Now, what would people go to you for? Not just regular small batteries like, you know, like AA's or C's or D's that you put in toys, ornaments, or
we have all
or
those.
the little 9 volts that go in your smoke detectors.
We are a full functioning 3rd generation battery shop. We can take care of your motorhome, your wheelchair, the little mobility scooter, the kid's toy, custom cables for the boat or the RV or the little hot rod project you're working on in the garage. If there's a battery involved, I want to be involved. And if I can't help you, at least I can point you in the right direction. Batteries, doesn't matter almost what it is. Long as it's not a rechargeable lithium-ion tool pack. They're not made in the United States. We don't have a supplier yet for them. And I will not put the boss's name on an inferior product. And there is a health and welfare issue with those. They're dangerous.
Right. So if you have, like, say, an electric car or a hybrid car, you don't necessarily service those.
We would do the small backup battery for the motor, if it has a battery for the memories. But the main lithium-ion battery pack that is running the car that 100 miles or whatnot, that's going to be a dealer-only item.
But you guys do everything else.
Yes, sir.
I mean, regular car batteries, boat batteries, RV batteries.
Your RVs, your boats, your deep cycle, the cranking, we have it all. Your motorcycles, the four-wheeler, the jet ski. We have batteries, we have chargers. If you need maintainers.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's not like it was 20 years ago.
I know when I had my motorcycle, you know, my battery would go dead a lot, and I had a little trickle charger and all that stuff just to keep it maintained. Is that a good thing to do?
It is, but you want a fully automatic maintainer, so it turns totally off and doesn't cook it. If a battery sits for 3 months, it has to be charged because it self-discharges, and it's the lack of maintenance that kills most batteries out there. People say it's the winter time and the cold.
Yeah.
No. The summertime and lack of maintenance is what kills them, but they show up in the winter. The oil gets thicker. The block tightens up. That's when it shows what type of condition it's in.
We got to run off to the local weather, but I got to talk to you about my son's car, which has been sitting in the driveway for a couple months and haven't started it.
He may have a drain.
He shouldn't watch this show. He'll be mad at me. We'll be right back after your local weather, brought to you by the West Pittman Law Firm, westpittmanlawfirm.com. Welcome back to the show. I am having a powerful interview, get it, powerful, about batteries with Greg Anderson from Barry's Battery Warehouse.
Correct.
It's a little early in the morning. It's sort of a tongue twister for me, but Barry's Battery Warehouse. Where are you located?
We're on June Avenue, and the landmark for June Avenue between Lisbon and Balboa is the Domino's Pizza. Everybody knows where that's at. Go south on June Avenue, go down 3 houses, we're on the left. Cannot miss us.
All right. Now, the tease coming into this, leaving the last segment and coming into this before the weather, was that my son's away at school. He's away at the Naval Academy, where he's not allowed to drive. He's not allowed to own a car until he's a senior, I think. So his car sits in my driveway. His car now is just kind of a grease spot in my driveway. I tell him I start it every day, but I really don't. Is that bad for the battery?
Yes, sir. You're not maintaining the product. It's self-discharging. Your computer, the clock, the radios are all pulling just a little bit. So it's a cascade effect. Just going out there and cranking it is not going to replenish what you're losing.
Oh, you have to actually drive it around.
Yes, sir. Or put a fully automatic maintainer on it, or take the time and do a little overnight charge.
Oh, yeah, I could take it out and charge it. I got a charger in the garage.
Correct. When we were young, we had generators. A true battery charging system.
Yes.
An alternator is just a maintainer. So
Really?
if you get ran down, somebody left the door ajar, stereo on. Stereos are bad amps. They'll drain one in a heartbeat. The alternator cannot keep up. You jump it off, drive it 50 miles. It's just a surface charge.
I didn't know
battery
that.
is still dead. So proper maintenance, people do not really get taught this at other places.
What about keeping your battery clean? I had heard that if you have a dirty, greasy battery, that'll drain down faster. Is that true?
Well, it's going to drain the same amount, but you have corrosion, dirt, grease, grime. You're not getting the flow of electrons through the battery to actually charge it. It's resistance. So if you don't, you get in what you get out.
Yeah.
Or get out what you get in. You know what I mean? It's how you take care of it. Back to maintenance.
I remember as a young guy on one of the jalopies I was driving, it was almost new battery, and the car wouldn't start. And then it got a good look at the cables. And a lot of people think battery, but you look at those connections sometimes, they're all oxidized and turning green, and,
That's important, but cables also go bad over time. You can get nicks on them and not even know it from hitting debris on the road. Corrosion coming in, because everybody cuts the factory in off. They change it themselves. They don't think about corrosion getting in there, and it's like a cancer. Once it starts, you can't see it underneath that shrink, and it just eats it up. Resistance. We build cables.
So it's probably a good time of year, the new year, to start looking at those things. Start checking your batteries, looking at your car, looking at all of your appliances and things that take batteries. Every
3 months, you need to look at anything with a battery in it. You don't want to take your flashlights and leave it just sitting in a drawer with the alkaline batteries in it. It's a great idea to have the batteries next to it, but some of the lesser products, they leak. And then it destroys the electronics, the contacts, and when
Greg
you need
Anderson,
it, you're stuck.
I got to tell you, you are the Yoda of batteries. And if anybody wants to learn more about it or get in touch with you, what do they do?
Well, they can come by and see us, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30, or call 747-0065. We have more knowledge in our building than everybody in town combined.
All about the batteries.
That's
Thank you
it.
so much for coming
Thank
on
you,
the
sir.
show. You're welcome back anytime. And we'll be right back after your Mad Hatter Minute.
Hi, I'm David Lovett, and this is your Mad Hatter Minute. Your axles are the last link in transferring power from the engine to the wheels. They are strong and they last a long time, but they can run into problems. Axles are wearable items. They will just wear out over time and need to be replaced. Sometimes axle seals leak, causing the axle to wear out prematurely. Lubricant leaks out and water and dirt can get in to contaminate the gears. When this happens, you might hear strange noises coming from your axles. If you have a rear-wheel drive vehicle, you'll hear a groaning noise coming from the back of the vehicle. If your vehicle is front-wheel drive, you'll hear the noise coming from the front. And of course, if you have an all-wheel drive vehicle and got both rear axles and front axle problems, you'll hear a problem from the front and the rear. A surefire sign that you have an axle problem is if you're turning left or you're turning right and you're hearing a clicking noise. Click, 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 click. Get your car to a shop soon because you got an axle problem. When there's a concern with the axle shaft, it'll be removed and inspected. If it is damaged, the shaft will have to be replaced. If the shaft is in good shape, it'll be cleaned, lubed, and reinstalled. If the axle fails completely, it can cause severe problems to include damaging the transmission. Taking care of your axles when they become a problem saves you time and money in the long run. If you got a question of whether or not your axles are bad or not, stop by Mad Hatter on 23rd Street. We'll do a free inspection and let you know the condition of your axles. I'm David Lovett, and that has been your Mad Hatter Minute.
Hey folks, this is Joshua Brown with Mad Hatter on 23rd Street. Is your check engine light on? If it is, text MADHAT28, that's MADHAT28, to 24247.
Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Heather Noyes from Raymond James Financial to give you some financial tips for the new year.
Right.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and all that stuff.
Happy New Year.
Good to have you back.
Yeah.
What should we be thinking about for 2015? I mean, financially.
Well, it's that time of year. Everybody's making New Year's resolutions. I'm sure you've made a few, or you've been talking about some healthy eating habits and things.
Yeah,
so
I have
don't know
been.
if, we're going to stick with that. But
everybody says work out, better, eat better, that type of
quit
stuff.
smoking,
Quit
drinking,
yeah.
all those types of things to really basically boils down to getting healthy. But what's really interesting is you're going to get more bang for your buck, not just getting healthier, but keeping more money in your pocket.
Really?
Yeah.
So healthy people will spend less? Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh, definitely spend a lot less, particularly on health care. In fact, the nation's, the cost of national health care, 75% of it is from chronic illnesses. So cancer, heart disease, diabetes, which are primarily caused from inactivity, poor eating habits, smoking. And
Stop
alcohol,
talking about
right?
me. Okay. Except for the smoking part. I don't smoke.
Right. So,
but they're behavioral-based sicknesses that are totally avoidable.
absolutely.
And they get to be expensive, particularly for smokers. I don't even know what a pack of cigarettes costs now. What is
Well,
it?
interesting you brought that up. The American Cancer Society said the national average for a pack of cigarettes is like $6.36.
Wow.
But when you factor in the cost of health care for smokers, it's actually $35 a pack.
So in the aggregate, you're looking at
just
$35 a pack if you're going to
about-
factor in all the health care that goes with that.
Yeah, it's about $13,000 a year. So just for that, you're,
Just to have a smelly, dirty habit.
right,
It's all-
12 or almost $13,000 a year. So.
It's just not worth having a smelly, dirty habit anymore, I swear. There are also second and third order effects from that. Besides saving the money on that $6 or $7 pack of cigarettes, you add some years to your life too.
You do.
It kind of gives you more time to save.
Absolutely, because if you have these chronic illnesses, then you're spending less time in the workforce, so you're making less money also. You're also not participating in maybe retirement plans and things that are available to you. You're not paying into Social Security as much, so when you do retire and start drawing, you may be drawing less from the Social Security. And besides that, a family who has a chronic illness individual in their family, they're spending 5 times more on health care a year than somebody without chronic illness.
Wow, 5 times more.
So just the cost of regular health care is 5 times more.
That's ridiculous. When you really think about it, there's really no excuse to smoke. Everybody knows that it's going to hurt you or kill you someday. And then you just add that money expense to it. It's just bizarre. What else should we be thinking about besides quitting smoking and living healthy?
Well, the other one I'm not sure if I totally agree with was the national, what is it? It's for alcoholism, National Association of Alcoholism. They say that drinking in moderation for a woman is 1 alcoholic drink a day, which is the part I don't know if I agree with. And for a man, it's 2 alcoholic drinks a day. So I think it should be like reversed. I mean, if you have kids and you're a female, you know,
need that glass of wine or two
moderation is
at
a
the end of the
couple.
day.
Yeah, I think so. A couple of glasses of wine. So
I think they're kind of looking at it more scientifically. Men are by and large larger than women, can probably absorb more alcohol, but women probably need it more.
I agree. So that excess over that's spent every year is around $230 billion in excess over the moderation.
So
limits,
if you're
$230
anything
billion.
more than a moderate drinker, you're wasting money. Some say you're wasting money drinking
Like I
it
said,
all.
I don't know. I just thought I'd bring that up. I mean, as it relates to finances, there's a lot of money that's being spent there.
Also, for the new year, you should have some resolutions like that. Quit smoking is probably the best thing you could do for your pocketbook and your health. And of course, the drinking thing is, in moderation only.
Right.
Heather Norris from Raymond James Financial. Thank you for helping me make up my list of resolutions for this year. And we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to the show and Happy New Year. I'm here with Leanne Leonard from Twisting Sisters Belly Dancing.
Well said.
Welcome to the show, Leanne.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yeah, well, we're happy you're here because belly dancing is intriguing. I'm going to read a little something here.
It says right here. You need your pipe.
I need my pipe to sound educated here. And it says, while the origins of this ancient dance are veiled in mystery, it is generally believed that the belly dance, also known as Rax Sharky, if I'm saying that right, has Middle Eastern roots. Okay, great. Now you have gone on to not only learn how to do this, but teach it now.
Yep.
And you actually have little belly dance parties, don't you?
I do. That's kind of how I got into the teaching. I've been in a troupe. I've taken many classes and workshops myself. And I started, I need to start paying for some of these workshops, and the costumes can be quite expensive. So it's like, what can I do to earn a little extra income so I can get more stuff?
Yeah.
And I started doing instructional parties, mainly women, big groups of women. Sometimes it's a birthday party.
Not so many guys.
Not
get
so
into
many
belly
men.
dancing.
They like to watch.
Yeah.
And then did some bachelorette parties. Those are really fun shimmy parties.
I would imagine, yeah.
And I enjoyed it, and I was told by many people that I was good at it, and the students really encouraged me to start a class. They're like, hey, we want a regular class. Will you please teach? And I thought long and hard about it, and I decided, yeah, I think it's time. So I'm starting January 5th at Studio by the Sea. The time is not firm. I think it's going to be 6 or 6:30. But if you just go to Studio by the Sea's Facebook page, they will post the January schedule soon. I know
so
she's
you can learn the
working on
belly
it.
dance.
Yeah, absolutely, the basics.
Now we had mentioned, we were talking off camera, and you had said that you started with ballroom dancing because that was kind of fun. You had your husband involved in all that, and it was kind of cool.
It was.
You don't have your husband involved in this so much, do you?
No, he comes to watch whenever there's a buffet. The food is what gets him. I wish I could say it was my dancing.
So you
but
guys can come for the buffet if you want.
Yeah, there's a lot of homemade food at the Hoflas. That's what we call belly dance shows. So he is happy to oblige and come, but not to dance. And that's really how I got into belly dancing. We were doing the ballroom dancing, and I very much enjoyed it, but it was getting expensive as we progressed, and he really wasn't committed to taking it to the next level. So I thought, what can I do that I can do by myself and enjoy? And belly dancing came to mind. And I went to my first class, and the teacher ended up being a girl that I went to high school with. So it was meant to be.
So from ballroom dancing to belly dancing, and it sounds like you're having a great time with it.
It's a blast.
Yeah, and I guess there would be some health benefits to this too, wouldn't there?
There are. It builds your core strength, definitely stamina, flexibility. Not a huge calorie burner unless you shimmy quite a bit, which we're going to do here in a little bit.
I know. I was going to ask you to teach me a few moves.
I will do it. And one thing people don't think about is it's really good for your mind. Exercise is great for your brain. And memorizing choreography and memorizing steps is really good for your brain. Learning a new skill is good for that. And as someone who lost her mother to Alzheimer's disease, I'm always researching ways to prevent that. And that is one of the ways. New things, memorization, and even just the social interaction of the belly dancing.
And just keeping the oxygen flowing to the brain. I mean, that's, that's half the battle right there.
Right.
Leanne, we have to run off to a break, but on the other side of that, maybe you can give me a little brief lesson here on how to belly dance, or
I'm ready.
What someone could expect if they go to one of your classes. And we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Leanne Leonard from Twisting Sisters Belly Dancing. And you're going to teach me a few basics, aren't you, Leanne?
I am going to do that. Again, my classes start January 5th if you want to come, or I'll give you a little sneak peek right here.
Oh, well, how about that little sneak peek? Yeah. All right, now, say I call and I say, hey, I'm Don. Hi, I'm Don. I want to learn how to belly dance. And you say, yeah, come on in. Right?
Right, absolutely.
And I show up, and you put this thing on me, which is called what?
A coin scarf or a hip scarf. People like them. They make noise.
Yeah, okay. That's kind of cool.
Right.
Okay, so what's a basic move now?
Basic move, pretty common to all forms of belly dance because there are several different forms, are snake arms. So you've probably seen those before. The arms look
snake arms?
Very snaky.
I can do that, yeah.
You look a little like you're swimming. That's how I looked when I started. So I'm going to show you the trick to that. The trick to that is to break it down into segments. So you're going to start by lifting up your shoulder. Perfect. Then lift up your elbow. Then lift up your wrist. And then let everything kind of go limp, like spaghetti. So it goes shoulder, elbow, wrist, release.
That is the most unmasculine thing I've done all day.
Wrist, release. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other arm. Shoulder, elbow, wrist, release.
Okay.
And then you're going to, do it on opposing arms.
Okay.
And that's how you get that snaky effect.
Okay.
Or a back stroke, or, like you're doing there.
Okay, now how do I make this thing make noise?
You want to make this thing make noise? Can we have a little music over there? Sound guy? We are going to slide our hips to side. You're going to try to keep the top of your body isolated. In belly dance, the moves are isolated. So instead of, you're not using your whole body, you're just going to slide the hips. Let's see if you can do that. Slide them to the right and to the left.
Oh my God.
Not bad.
Let's come to this.
Not bad.
Hey, look at me, Mom. I'm belly dancing. I'm belly dancing on TV, so it's come to this. Okay.
Now we're going to move around and create a little box with our hips. So you're going to go to the right, then push your pelvis to the front, and then your hips to the left, and then sort of release back.
Okay.
And let's keep that going.
Right, front, left.
Perfect. Very good. Right, front,
That's kind of
left,
disturbing
back.
that I
Try
got this
not-
right away.
Try not to move the top part of your body.
Oh, well.
Right, front, left, back, right, front, left, back. Now smooth it out and you'll make little hip circles.
Okay.
If this gets more muscular and kind of underneath your rib cage, it becomes an omi or an ami. You're
Okay.
kind of like a top. You're kind of all over, so again, try to just move
Just
your
do that.
hips.
You got to keep my top.
That's actually very good.
Yeah. I got the groove.
You do. Now, since we only have a little bit of time, I'm going to show you a basic Egyptian shimmy. And all you're going to do is rotate your knees forward and backward, alternate your
that's easy.
knees.
All right.
And it gives you that nice little jingle you were looking for.
Okay, so you do a little jingle, and we can do the snake arms while
You
we're
can
doing
add
this.
layering is what we call that.
Uh-huh.
So that's pretty advanced. So see, you've already earned your first certificate that you're certified to shimmy,
I am feeling downright sexy right now.
or at least certified, right?
Or certifiable. That's it. Leanne Leonard, thanks so much
My
for
pleasure.
coming out from Twisting Sisters
Thank
and
you.
giving me that little lesson.
You nailed it.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.